Hey everybody, Michael Snyder. California Weather Watch. Today is August 22nd, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the Hawaiian Islands at the bottom left here. You can see the state of California, and here is our next weather maker. It is dropping down the west coast as we speak, already spreading some clouds across California as we speak. You can also see the tropics are quite active right now. This is probably just now entering tropical storm phase across some of the central Pacific Ocean, and you can see Hurricane Gilma out here in the nice formation of its eye with another system trying to develop behind that off to the east. So we're going to take a look at what's coming up here because we are going to cool things down. Things are going to be suppressed today, tomorrow, Saturday, and a bit on Sunday before we start to bounce back with some of that heat as we go through next week. So let's just dive into things. You can see the thunderstorm potential for today does include some in Northern California. This is for tomorrow, just clips Redding here, and there is some concern about the Park Fire out there, a big burn scar area, and it's not going to take much precipitation to cause some debris flows and some possible flooding with that as well. But you can see that we're not looking at much thunderstorm potential there, and on day 3 it does clip Northeast California. So this is talking about the excessive rainfall outlook here, some flash flooding threat here for portions of North Arizona and portions of Utah as well, just off to the east of Las Vegas. Just keep that in the back of your mind if you are traveling eastbound today. You can see Needles is right there, and here's Kingman. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast for Northern California, check it out. Some areas getting up over an inch and a half, actually, maybe. And you can see Crescent City up towards an inch here as well. This goes from 11 p.m. tonight to 11 a.m. Saturday. Now, cooler temperatures ahead. Check out Reno dropping down 71, 72 Friday, Saturday. South Lake Tahoe, check it out, down to the lower 60s before the bounce back starts. Mammoth Lakes as well. And you can see Susanville 66 and 68 for Saturday. This is the flash flood watch in effect for the Park Fire. Looks like a big shield, doesn't it? Just perfectly formed out there. But again, debris flows are not going to be difficult to come by, and this is going to be an ongoing problem as we go on into the fall and the winter months. Every time we get a frontal system, we're going to have to worry about the Park Fire burn scar for some time now. Taking a look at the precipitation that's forecast here over the next 60 hours as well, we have the system dropping down, and you can see some showers as we go through the afternoon today. It could be a thunderstorm or two here north of Redding and Red Bluff here across some of the Cascades, Klamath Range here also. But then we start to bring the main bulk of the precipitation in here. You can see maybe a little bit of light rain here as we go through tomorrow afternoon across some of the Bay Area, Sacramento Valley. And you can see not bad there. It's some light precipitation, a little bit unusual for this time of year. And it's not a lot of rainfall here, but again, it could cause some issues with the Park Fire burn scar area. And then you can see we're going to have some chilly air around as we go on through the day Saturday as well. Maybe a thunderstorm across Nevada there as we go through Saturday afternoon. But we could even get some snow for the highest portions of the Sierra Nevada up in the Cascade and the Klamath Range as well. Now, taking a look at that, the potential of it, and you can see Mount Shasta would be right here, a little bullseye there, of course, for some of the highest peaks. But as we go on into the next couple of days, you can see it pile up a little bit here across some of the Sierra Nevada, some of the Cascades as well. So if you're off across some of the highest peaks out there, and a lot of the backcountry is going to be well below normal as we go through this weekend also. So keep that in the back of your mind for sure. Taking a look at what's causing all this, we saw this on the mid-level water vapor loop, this polar lobe just dropping down across the west coast of North America, pinwheeling for a bit as we go through Saturday morning here. There's Saturday afternoon coming up, and then by the time we get on in towards Monday, that's going to be a distant memory, and we're going to really start to warm things up again. Some temperatures across the Sacramento Valley and the San Joaquin Valley is probably going up towards 100 degrees yet again as another trough swings to the Pacific Northwest, and maybe some ridging behind that. Taking a look at Sacramento, you can clearly see where this polar lobe is going to be visiting us here Friday, Saturday, and we start to bounce back Sunday and perhaps reaching up over 100 degrees by the time we go for Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's San Francisco, a little bit of a cool down here, then a bounce back here, but not too big of a deal here, right along some of the immediate coastline. Of course, the ocean, kind of keep things pretty moderated here. It keeps things from getting too hot usually until you get that offshore flow at some point in the season. Lake Tahoe, check it out, down into the mid and lower 50s before the bounce back to some upper 70s as we go through next week. So just heads up here, if you are out and about off across the backcountry, camping trips and whatnot, it is going to be pretty darn right chilly out there and very raw conditions. Susanville as well, 62 you can see, in 43 for the overnight low there on Sunday morning. Take a look at Los Angeles. If you're down here across some of Southern California, you're like, what upper level trough? This doesn't mean much to us. And you would be right here. You can see the temperature's not varying much here as we go through the next 10 to 15 days or so. Here we go, Palm Springs. A bit of a cool down here will be felt, but relatively speaking, it's not too much. But then we bounce back here as we go through next week. This is Mammoth, though. Again, just kind of pointing out across the backcountry, driving home that point. It is going to be chilly out there this weekend. And here's a diagram of what the upper levels of the atmosphere look like at 18,000 feet. This is temperature, and you can kind of see this polar lobe dropping off and spinning around and 1-2 punch there as it moves through California. And then again, by the time we get towards Monday, that is going to be a distant memory. Taking a look at 2-meter temperature anomaly. So here's the state of California right there. This is the temperature anomaly, basically below average here, coming up across for some portions of Northern California. So as we go through this afternoon, look at some of the Klamath Range here and some of the Cascades. Some areas are well below normal. Some places 25 degrees below normal for this afternoon. It extends all the way down into some of the coastal range here as well, and down across much of the Sierra Nevada. Then we go through tonight and tomorrow morning. Look, a lot of the state actually is below normal here, slightly so for many areas. And then as we go through Friday afternoon, look at some of these dramatic below normal temperatures. Some places 30 degrees or more below normal across Washington, Oregon, and California, all the way down through Central California. But look at some of the Cascades and Klamath Range well below normal. Then we go through Saturday morning, again chilly across a lot of the entire state here. But again, it is summer, so relatively speaking, it's not too bad across a lot of elevations except for some of the higher terrain. And then we go on in towards Saturday afternoon, and you can see again a very chilly afternoon for many areas here, relatively speaking, again. And then Sunday, here we go. We start to move this upper level low out of the region, and we start to warm things up as we go through next week. And you see some above average temperatures starting to peak their heads here as we go on in towards next Tuesday. Here we go, total precipitation in inches on the National Blend of Models. So this is total precipitation. You can see it's not bad here for portions of Northern California. You get up over an inch and a half, like I mentioned, and the burn scar area for the Park Fire is somewhere right in here. So it's not dealing with too much rain right now, but that is going to be an ongoing problem, like I mentioned, as we go through the fall and the winter months upcoming. But you can kind of see the cutoff here. The National Blend of Models not showing too much here for the Bay Area or Sacramento, but you can't rule some out. The National Weather Service was talking about the potential for a little bit of precipitation, so don't take that as gospel. You might end up seeing a couple showers. Here's total snow on the National Blend of Models. Let's see what it says. And you can see it does show just a little skiff there for some of the Sierra Nevada and the Cascade. You can see Mount Shasta here. So yeah, higher terrain. It's going to be pretty raw out there this weekend. Now, taking a look at the European, let's see what it says as far as snowfall potential here. Let's scroll through this, and you'll see we do bring a little bit to some of Northern California. And as we go through the day Saturday here, you can see as we go on in towards, what is this, late morning, early afternoon Saturday, does show a couple inches maybe for the highest terrain. So it's kind of a novelty there, but yeah, it will be chilly. Now, taking a look at Gilma, we've got Hurricane Gilma out here. This is probably forming into a tropical cyclone here at some point today, probably a tropical storm. I'm not sure what the name will be. I have not looked that up. But all this tropical activity right now is forecast to stay away from the southwest USA, so no worries there. And you can see Hurricane Gilma, major hurricane coming up here, and then probably dropping to a tropical storm as it starts to push off towards the Central Pacific. And just kind of playing this forward and taking a look at that. This is going to be a close pass for Hawaii, and that could still have some impacts, but a near miss here, let's call it. And I might do a video here later today and post that on the Pacific Northwest channel just to give an update on that, because that will still have some impacts, especially for the Big Island there, and have some wave action. And some of the models are showing that turning back north a little. Here's the 6 to 10 day. You can see the bounce back in temperatures here as we go towards the end of the month. 6 to 10 day precipitation for Northern California in the below average as well. And if we look at the National Blend of Models, this is daily 2-meter max temperature. So this will be for today. You can see some mid 80s out there, some upper 80s and some 90s down across the San Joaquin Valley. And Bakersfield here and some of the desert areas not doing too bad. But then we drop back down tomorrow. Look at this Friday, only the 70s for Sacramento, Redding, Red Bluff down into the low 70s maybe. And then Saturday also quite chilly, but then we start that bounce back Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Don't shoot the messenger, but the heat is likely to return. Typical summertime temperatures and probably a little bit above as we go on in through next week. And if we look at apparent temperature one more time, I'm going to drive home the point there. If you are going out across the backcountry, somebody who is, check out some of these temperatures on Friday morning, very raw across the backcountry. This takes into account wind chill on the apparent temperature, but even across some of the valley areas, you're going to feel that chill in the atmosphere Friday and also Saturday morning. Here we're now going through Saturday morning again. So yeah, you're going to feel that chill out there, even some of the lower elevations there. You might need a jacket in the morning. So Taking a look at the smoke, let's just update this really quick and let's go back to the 12Z so we can run out a little bit here. Looks like the coffee pot fire still producing smoke here. Here's the Boise fire still producing some smoke. But yeah, relatively speaking, still across the state, we're not doing too bad right now. And hopefully we can keep it that way, but no promises. Of course, peak fire season is probably still yet to come. And again, there's the coffee pot fire there. Have they updated that? I do not believe they have, but let's see. No, they said they did, but 1,700 acres. Looks like it's kind of a small fire to be producing that kind of smoke. But here's the Boise fire up here as well. Looks like it's about 12,600 acres. Was growing a bit yesterday here also. And you can see, again, the park fire is there. And let's update here the average departure temperature from average. And you can see much of the state has been above average so far for the month of August, but that is definitely going to take a hit here over the next few days, especially central and northern California. And percent of average precipitation here, this is kind of hit and miss. I debated even showing this strictly because we get such small amounts of precipitation at this time of year that any kind of amounts can really skew the totals here. And if you get above average, you can really skew those to the other way. But yeah, anyway, here it comes. Upper level low. Could pack some thunderstorms with it. Watch out for that precipitation incoming. We'll break this all again tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are having a good day otherwise, and I will talk to you guys then.